Hello everyone. The number of the representatives that are elected in the local bodies in India, they are about 36 lakh or more than that. And do you know that it can be the population of a European country? Yes, students, we are discussing about the local bodies. We are discussing about the third level of the government in a federal country when there is power sharing between levels of the government. So far we have discussed about so many features of federalism. About India particularly we have discussed, and by giving the example of Belgium also, and in the previous lecture we finally talked about the Act of 1992, and that was towards stabilizing, strengthening the third tier of the government, the third level of the government, that is municipalities and panchayats. We discussed that an election commission was set up in every state according to the Act of 1992, according to the constitutional amendment of 1992, and this election commission, which was set up in every state, it was required to keep a record of the elections to the local bodies, because it was observed that although the third level existed, but the elections were not held regularly, so it was a bit ineffective. And if it is there, we have discussed that according to Gandhian ideas, that democracy should reach to the grassroots, and villages are the grassroots of India. So if the people at the local level, the people at the district level, the people at the village level, if they know about the democratic functioning, if they know that at a local level they can govern themselves, they can raise issues, they can know their problems, that what are the different fields where their problem lies, and then they also can ratify it. They have the rights, they have the power to solve their problems at local level, because central government and state governments, they are already having so many subjects and they all have to look after so many issues relating to the country or to the states. So local bodies came up, and we are discussing in detail about the local bodies today. And about decentralization, we discussed that when many powers of the central government have been given to the states, and further the states share these powers with the local bodies, municipalities or municipal corporations, or with the panchayats, this is called decentralization, and the power percolates downwards. And the grassroots level, it also allows the people to have autonomy and to learn how to run the government, to learn the democratic ideals. So we are talking today about the Panchayati Raj, that the question, simple question of 5 marks that is asked in the board examination. What do you mean by Panchayati Raj? So at the local level, in the rural areas, the local level, the local administration is known by the name of Panchayati Raj. There are a number of villages in India. So in the villages, there is Panchayati system, there is Panchayati Raj. In every village, there is a Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat. You are asked in short answers, what is Gram Panchayat, what is Gram Sabha? Actually, Gram Sabha is a body of all the voters, of all the adults residing in a village. All the people who are voters, all the adults, they form the Gram Sabha. And the Gram Panchayat is an elected body. It has a Sarpanch or a Pradhan and other officials who are elected by Gram Sabha for a term of 5 years. Gram Panchayat works under the overall supervision of Gram Sabha, because the members of the Gram Panchayat know that they have come to the power only because of the votes of Gram Sabha. The members of Gram Sabha, they supervise the working of Gram Panchayat. They see within 5 years what they have done, what developmental activities they have taken, what welfare schemes they have undertaken in the particular village. So they are aware. Gram Sabha, the members of Gram Sabha are aware about it. As much the members of Gram Sabha are aware, as much work is done by Gram Panchayat. The members of Gram Sabha, they are required to meet twice or thrice in a year to review the work of Gram Panchayat. Means in a year, either twice or thrice, they have to do their meeting, they have to meet together, and they also prepare budget. Budget, you all know what is the income and expenditure during a particular year, and something if they want to add into it. So the budget is prepared by the members of Gram Sabha, and then they present it to Gram Panchayat. So Gram Sabha is also an important organ in the village level. At the village level, it is also a very important organ. Actually, Gram Panchayat works efficiently only when the members of Gram Panchayat observe that Gram Sabha is very vigilant, and Gram Sabha is meeting regularly. Then only the members of Gram Panchayat, they work efficiently and they go together. Correct? Now, this Panchayati Raj in the villages, what happens that many Gram Panchayats together elect a Panchayat Samiti, block or mandal. It is also known as block or mandal. Many Gram Panchayats in a region, they elect Panchayat Samiti. It is also known as block or mandal, and it supervises the functioning of the particular, whatever villages they lie in their region, they look after the working of those. Then many Panchayat Samitis together form Zilla Parishad. This is the apex organization at the rural area in the Panchayati system, in the Panchayati Raj. Zilla Parishad is formed. Zilla Parishad is also an elected body, and wherever Zilla Parishad is organized, wherever there is headquarter of Zilla Parishad, if any MLA, member of Legislative Assembly, or if any MP, member of the Parliament, if they are residing in that particular area, they are automatically the member of Zilla Parishad, automatically, because they belong to that particular region, so automatically they are the members of Zilla Parishad. And such a Zilla Parishad, obviously it becomes very strong because MLAs and MPs are there as its members. So like this, the rural areas, the system works at the different level, and there is power sharing. You can very well see that at every step there is power sharing in India. That makes India truly a federal country. Correct? So this was about the rural area. Now we will talk about the urban area, about the cities, about the urban areas. Correct? In the urban areas too, there are levels. In big cities, there are municipal corporations which are elected for a term of 5 years. In the cities which are not very big, small cities, it is municipalities. The head of the municipal corporation is called mayor, M-A-Y-O-R. The title is mayor, and the head of the municipality is known as the chairman. So in the urban areas, it goes like this. There are municipal corporations, there are municipalities in small cities, and they look after the local areas. They look after the day-to-day problems, the day-to-day working in their respective regions, in their respective areas, respective cities, and they help a federal nation to develop, because previously also I told you that in a federal country, when these units will develop, when these units will work efficiently, automatically the country will develop and there will be overall development. So this was about the local body at the third level, in the rural areas separately and in the urban areas. Correct? Finally, you are asked another question in board examination, what are the problems faced by the local bodies in India? We have discussed about the act or amendment, constitutional amendment of 1992 in the previous lecture. We have discussed that in that amendment of 1992, every possible problem was solved, and particularly the election commission which was set up in every state. The problem was that their elections were not held regularly. So election commission was set up according to that act, which could keep a record of the elections to these local bodies. But remember that even then, these local bodies are not free of problems. Go through your NCERT pages 21, 22, 23, 24, etc. and the back questions. You can very well see in the last topic of your chapter that still local bodies face many problems. Although there are more than 36 lakh elected members in the local bodies, I told you it can be a population of European country, but it is not free of problems. The problems are still state government do not share the required powers with the municipalities or municipal corporations or the panchayat. Still they do not bother about it. Still state governments do not share proper revenue which they should share with them. It is a rule that state governments have to share their revenue, have to share the expense, because even in the Panchayati Raj, even in the municipalities also there are expenses. So still state governments have not they have not shared their revenues with the local bodies, and still they have not transferred the required powers also. Moreover, there is one more problem. Although Gram Panchayats are held regularly, as I told you, their elections are held regularly after every 5 years, but Gram Sabhas do not meet regularly. As I told you that twice or thrice they have to meet in a year to discuss the overall working of panchayat. They do not meet. So still we are a long way behind realizing the ideal of local self-government in India. Still we have to remove all these problems. So that was all about this chapter, federalism. The second chapter is complete. Just prepare your notes and we will meet again with something new for you. Till then, it is a very goodbye from me.